You should go and love yourself. Hey. Cuckoo, it's Kennedy. Today is Valentine's Day. Well, by the time you're seeing this, Valentine's Day has already passed, but the day that I'm filming this is Valentine's Day, and I wasn't quite sure what to film, but I figured, you know, let's talk about love. Specifically, self-love, because I think that self-love is just as important, if not more important, than you receiving love from other people. As the wise RuPaul always says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen? I've gone through this whole journey of self-love and finding myself and, you know, losing confidence and building that back up. When I was a child, I had no problem in this area. I really loved myself. I was so confident. Nobody could tell me anything bad about myself. I was really on fire. And then, of course, you know, things change. Everyone goes through this roller coaster of losing confidence and having to build that back up again, especially when you're going through puberty and you're hearing all these things that society is telling you you need to be in order to be beautiful. And it's normal. Everyone has those times. Everybody has those days. Everybody has those days. Everybody gets that way. Everybody knows what okay. All of 2016, I was in a relationship. And I didn't realize it at the time, but the relationship was so toxic and it was really hindering my growth. It was hindering the ability to be confident. The relationship and the nature of the relationship definitely, you know, took a toll and affected that a great deal. It affected how I felt about myself. I just always felt kind of demeaned and looked down upon and less than. So 2017 was really a huge year for me because it was a year of growth. It was a year of, you know, rediscovering myself, falling in love with myself. It was amazing, and I'm glad I went through everything that I went through because it enabled me to be where I am right now emotionally. So once I started my self-love journey, one of the most important things for me was to realize that I was beautiful. We all like being told that we're beautiful by other people, and that feels good. No doubt it feels good. We also need to remind ourselves that we are beautiful. You have to, you know, believe it. And I did not believe it for the longest time. So one thing that I decided to do every morning when I woke up and every night before I went to bed was look in the mirror and tell myself, you are beautiful. And this, I'm getting emotional for some reason. This was so hard for me at first because, like I said, I really did not believe it. And if you're doing this, just know that it will feel uncomfortable at first, and over time it gets easier and easier because you will start believing it and you will start feeling it. And I know it sounds so silly to look at yourself and talk to yourself, but it really has worked for me. Now, if people come to me and they tell me that I'm not beautiful, I'm like, all right, whatever. Everyone has their own opinions. I think and I know that I'm beautiful. That's all that matters. Another thing that I realized was essential to being able to love yourself is knowing what you want and not being afraid to go for it. Whether it's in your career, in your life, in your relationship, in your friendships, know what you want and know what you deserve, and don't accept any less than that. Another thing that was really beneficial throughout my journey was establishing who my friends are and who my friends aren't, who I needed to kind of kick to the curb, and who I could allow to, you know, stick with me. But just in the way that you can have a toxic romantic relationship, you can also have toxic platonic relationships. And I've had those. We've all been there. We've all had those. And sometimes you just have to know when to cut things off with people. Okay, this next thing is a big one, and it's something that I'm still working on. It is so hard. I have the tendency of apologizing for everything, for the littlest things. I will bump into a chair, an inanimate object, and say sorry. Who am I saying sorry to? It's a chair. I, just like so many other people and a lot of women, say sorry way too often, and that's something that I'm working on. So unless it's something that you really have to and should apologize for, stop apologizing. Stop apologizing for who you are. Stop apologizing for what you look like. Don't apologize for the way you dress. Don't apologize for your personality. Don't apologize for your, I don't know, your laugh, your whatever. Don't apologize for being you. Self-care is also a really big part of self-love, and self-care routines can be different for everybody. Me personally, I know what it takes for me to feel beautiful and what it takes for me to feel like I'm a queen, because that's how you should be made to feel. You should feel like you're a queen or a king or whatever kind of royalty you want to be. And for me, it's things, you know, as simple as doing a face mask, taking an extra long hot shower or something. Figure out things that make you feel, as I would say, I guess, expensive. I also meditate every now and then as part of my self-care routine to kind of center and ground myself, so that's another thing that helps. But find whatever works for you. These Girl Scout cookies are bomb. Oh, that's another thing. Treat yourself. Tom and Donna in Parks and Recreation were not wrong.
3 words for you. Treat yourself.
However you can, however you want to, whether it's eating a helping of Girl Scout cookies, buying yourself that dress you've always wanted, buying yourself that suit that you've always wanted. Treat yourself somehow. And that wraps up my video about self-love and loving yourself. I hope that you apply these tips because it has definitely worked for me. I am so in love with myself. I look at myself in the mirror and I look at my photos and I'm like, oh, whoa, who is she? She's bomb. Don't get me wrong, I still have my days of feeling insecure, which is normal. You're going to have those days, but you gotta learn how to pick yourself back up. You know, you feel like shit today, tomorrow you feel like you're the shit. Don't forget to like if you liked this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I put out a new video every Thursday. I'll see you next week. I love you guys, and me. Bye!